Oh, damn it. Oh. Sorry. Burnt my salmon. God damn it. Burnt my salmon. Every time I do the intros of this podcast, I'm cooking something. Well, as we established last podcast, I don't cook things. I just warm stuff up. I was talking about being a celebrity chef, how I wanted to be one, but I'm not good at cooking, so I'm just going to be a celebrity warm-it-up guy. So I warmed up salmon, and I couldn't even do that right. Burnt the salmon. God damn it! That's my lunch. Anyways. All right, plugs. Let's get these out of the way. This Friday, Cincinnati, Ohio, March 30th, Taft Theater. 8 o'clock show. I'll be there with comedian Jim Florentine. You know him from Crank Yankers, Howard Stern Show. On the bill, Brad Thacker, Joe Howard from my podcast, myself. That's going to be a great show. I got some friends down in Cincinnati. Hope you can come out. And the very next day, March 31st, at the Woodlands Tavern in Columbus. C-Buzz. I haven't been in Columbus forever to perform, but I'm there with the same unit. Jim Florentine, Brad Thacker, Joe Howard. I know this show will sell out, so get your tickets. Go to woodlandstheater.com. Get your tickets before it sells out. Can't wait to go down there. And this is a special announcement. Exclusive. Lakewood, Ohio, where I live. Every Wednesday of the month, starting April 10th. A new place, a new venue, monthly show I'm doing at Vosh. It's right down on the west end by around a corner, across the street from the Riverwood. It's a cool jazz club. We're doing a monthly comedy show every single month there. And I'm really excited. This one's going to go off awesome. We got Mike Farrell on the bill, Joe Howard, and a special bunch of surprise guests. It's a $10 show. But if you go, what's the text word? There's a text word you can get in for $5. Well, anyways, just Google something. You'll figure it out. I don't have it written down. And the week after that, I'm going to be at Legends Sports Bar and Grill in Greene, Ohio, with comedians Mike Farrell, Mike Polk, and from Los Angeles, California, Sam Tripoli. Actually, Sam's flying in a day early. We're at the Funny Stop that Thursday through Friday, which is, what do we got? April 10th through 20th. If you don't know who Sam Tripoli is, Google him. He's one of the funniest comics working. I love Sam. I've known him for a long time. He's one of my comedy friends. He's got his own podcast called The Naughty Show, if you want to look that up on iTunes. He's on the Death Squad, opens up for Joe Rogan. One of the funniest comics working. Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli on Twitter, I believe. I follow him. And our sponsors, FrizzonMedia.com, people. Frizzon Media! For all your media needs, audio production, video, B-roll, time lapses, they do it all. They're the best at what they do. I've been working with them since the start of this podcast. And everyone else that's been listening to the podcast, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for the donations at sitdownzumock.com. We're also looking for sponsors. We're always looking for sponsors. Talking to a few people right now, haven't finalized anything. If you're serious about sponsoring, you can email me at sitdownzumock@gmail.com. That's sitdownzumock@gmail.com, and we can talk sponsorship. All right, this is episode number 5? 4 or 5? 5. And I have to tell you, this is one of the funnier episodes I've done. And it wasn't because of me, by any means. It's because of my guest. I had on comedians Mike Polk. You know him from the hastily made Cleveland tourism videos, the Factory of Sadness video. He's all over Cleveland. You know who Mike Polk is. And the return of Mike Farrell from episode number 3. And the reason why this episode was so funny is because all I had to do was hit record. and I just sat back and laughed my ass off. And I hope you do the same. So check it out. Episode number 5. Holla at your boy.
Bunch of bullshit. 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 Bunch of bullshit.
Sit down, Zumock.
Yes, we are here at the map room. This is a hot night, people. 4 o'clock on a Saturday in a bar with 7 people. This is exactly what I was looking for. Thanks for coming down, everybody. This is 17 people. Okay. Just joking. I appreciate everyone coming down to the episode number 5 of the Sit Down Zumock podcast. I have some fabulous guests I'd like to bring out to the podcast right now. My first guest, you know him, you love him, from Cleveland, Ohio, Mr. Mike Polk. Give it up. And my second guest, another comedian named Mike, Mr. Mike Farrell. Everybody, bring him on. Look at these guys. All right, we're podcasting.
We sure are.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me back. It's been a while.
Yeah, you know what? I got an email from Pamela from Willoughby. She said that was the best podcast she's ever heard.
How many other ones has she heard?
Well, there's only been 4.
That she's ever heard?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been on episode 2, 3, 5, and 6.
What?
I don't know. All right.
No, but you were a good guest.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you could come back on.
Thank you. Yeah, I rushed down to get here. It was good.
Yeah, I got headphones on. Last week we had the St. Patrick's Day episode, and I couldn't hear a thing. And this is in case we take some callers. So I got 2 mics here on the mic. This is great. 2 comedians from Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm liking it better without the headphones.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm treble heavy. Real treble heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you going to be playing anything that we need to hear through here? Or it's more aesthetic.
Well,
I look cooler.
you do look a lot cooler with them on.
I can hear you, though.
Yeah, last week we couldn't hear a thing because this bar was crowded, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we don't need them.
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good?
Yeah.
Mike, what's going on with you?
Nothing, man. Just, you know me, man. Family weekend. Mr.
Yeah.
Mom. I've been like Mr. Mom for the past chicks out of town. So literally, like the part from when Terry Garr gets a job, like I'm Michael Keaton.
Really?
Like yeah, that's been my life for the past week.
Just taking care of the kids.
Yeah, just putting them to bed.
Cleaning the house.
Right. Just making them sleep as much as I can, so I can have as much free time.
Yeah.
To myself.
Hey, Mike Polk, this is interesting. Like, I know you don't have kids.
That's true, I don't.
Now,
I don't.
let me ask you something. Is there any thoughts in your mind for having kids maybe down the road? Like Mike?
It's nothing really I'd plan on or wish upon anybody or right now, but it's just my personal choice. And I know that it really wasn't your choice either, though, was it, Mike? That was just something.
Both of them weren't my choice, so
Yeah.
it just kind of happened out of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't be like, this is it, this is the one.
But
I want a girl.
You don't have any regrets about this.
No, none at all.
Did you at the time?
But I would never have children. I'll never have another. But no regrets this time.
Did you say that after the first one, though?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I might have uttered it in a drunken family
Yeah.
outing. Like, this is it.
But you're
No, one and done. I might have said that.
But you're done now, 2 and done.
I'm
You're
done.
out. And you got a boy. It's a
But-
perfect American family. Boy, girl, 2 different moms, not
Yeah.
married to either of them.
Exactly. And that's the best. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, because you don't want to go. Eventually, you'll have to go through the divorce.
Right.
Everyone will eventually.
Well, I come from a family of divorce. Everyone in my family's been divorced. Every single person.
Right.
So when they ask me, like, when are you getting married? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how. I don't even know what a functional marriage is.
I don't think
never
there
had
is.
a
I
role
don't think
model.
there is one. I know 2 people that have a pretty good marriage. The rest of them.
How long your parents been married, Mike?
Oh, geez. Like 30-some years. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I never buy into the I should get a pass or I'm like, be gentle with me because my parents got divorced or I grew up in a one-parent household or anything like that. Because almost everybody is in America now. And I just, like everybody else, got used to it and got over it and stuff. And I think it's even worse. Like my parents were obnoxious and, my dad he could be a real dick and pretty abusive at times, bless his heart. He's probably listening to this. There's anything else going on. So, but...
We're off to a great comedy podcast so far.
But here's the thing, like my parents, by all means, my parents should probably have been divorced several times. And they stuck together anyways, and we had to deal with that. Like at least your parents made the responsible decision to say, hey, this isn't working, maybe we shouldn't be assholes in front of the kids and scream all the time. Mm-hmm. We'll be grown-ups for the sake of the children and go our separate ways and just you could see them on weekends. Whereas mine are like, no, let's stick it out. What are you, heroes? Because you're going to be dicks in front of me instead of in separate places?
This is exactly what I was looking for. I love
I'm
this.
going to a support group now for the problems I had. My mom was divorced twice. I'm going to a support group twice a week. for that. For the.
Well,
for
your
the
mom's
issues.
was divorced twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
you looking to put a ring on the little lady's finger anytime soon?
No, we're not ready. We're not ready. I'll come right out there. We're not ready. Why would I do that?
I feel like this is like a real Frost and Nixon discussion right now. Like we're really getting in depth.
You trying to get it out of me?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen, buddy.
You know, it's weird because I do this podcast and I'm interviewing friends I know. I know everything about you, but I'm like
Yeah, it
challenged.
almost seems pointless to have us on.
But I want to try to interview you two.
I prefer not to talk about myself or comedy. Anything else is fair
Go.
game.
What do you So, Mike, you're a funny guy. You know, everyone knows you in town. Mm-hmm. What keeps you going?
Oh, were you talking to him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mike Polk.
I just assumed you were talking to me.
Yeah. But what keeps you doing it? Like, what keeps the drive to be funny? There's some people that are listening to this, and they really want to get to know you.
I believe it. I don't like talking about this stuff.
Oh, I know.
You know that I don't. So, I'm just kind of, right now, currently, I'm just waiting on chicken fingers that are coming here. And I'm not trying to be evasive. And this isn't like I know I get stuff from you guys about how it's a charade that I don't or something like that, but you've known me longer than anybody. You know that I don't like talking about this stuff.
This was a huge inconvenience for you.
It wasn't an inconvenience. It wasn't an inconvenience. Like, I don't mind doing it, but it's pointless because I don't like talking about me.
This is a text message you'll send to Mike Polk. Be like, hey, Mike, I got an awesome stand-up show coming up, man. There's going to be like 200 people there. It's going to be on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything? No. Do you want to be on it? Do I have to headline?
Yeah.
It's like, no, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to deal with the pressure. I can understand that.
Yeah, well, it's the responsibility of being the funniest guy in the room. You got to go last. Like, I don't want to follow that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun. But, I just booked a gig that's coming up. Oh, I could plug a gig.
Better plug that.
Yeah.
We'll plug this gig. We're all on it, actually, which is fun. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be down towards Canton and Green on April 17th at Legends Sports Pub and Grill.
That's a cool joint.
Yeah, it's a real cool joint. It's going to be Mike Polk, Mike Farrell, and from Los Angeles, California, Sam Tripley. Really funny guy. Do you know Sam?
That's going to be a great show.
I've never seen him, no.
Very funny guy. So,
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you don't have to go last.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is going to be the perfect
Am
gig for you.
Am I closing that show
You're
out?
closing it out.
Am I?
You can if you want.
I don't want to.
Yeah. So you're on your way to a gig tonight, right? Where are you going?
I'm
doing
just
a
doing
corporate gig?
Yeah.
What is
if
it?
you could even call it that. It's not a corporate gig. It's not going to be like 300 people from Microsoft. It's going to be a restaurant
Is it
group.
10 people at a bait shop?
It's going to be like 35 people in a banquet room. It's going to be 35 people in a banquet room of a restaurant company that I used to work for.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's going to be.
And they brought you
and
in?
They like called me and were like, "Hey, didn't you used to work for us? I saw you do comedy now. Do you want to come do our awards?"
Yeah.
We're gonna like kiss each other's ass and give each other awards for running a restaurant. Do you want to come make us laugh because we have nothing else to do and stand around and eat hors d'oeuvres for the 400th year in a row? Do you want to come and just intervene and just see if you can get anything else out of us that we haven't already sucked out of each other?
Did they give you a list of things about the company that you're allowed to make fun of?
I know everything.
You already do? Oh, because you did work for them.
I worked for them for
yeah,
years.
that's
Yeah,
right.
but no, they didn't do the annoying. They're just like, come do your thing.
There's
So
going to be a
actually,
bunch
it's
of
gonna be
jokes like, wow, it's great that Janine came and we got her off Facebook for 5 minutes. There's going to be jokes like that.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna do a lot of restaurant stuff. Try to like make them like me in that way.
Do you have to go after the boss for a little bit and like razz him, but not too hard?
It's a
because
surprise party for like the wife is throwing a surprise party for.
It's going to be a surprise comedy
yeah,
show, too.
for like the guy who is like the big dude. So.
And you can't you're not really allowed.
I'll
to,
ask some questions
You have
about
to
him.
razz him. Because he
Yeah.
wants to act like he has a good sense of humor about
Yeah,
himself.
but he doesn't want you to
But
go too
doesn't,
far.
So you got to just be like, hey, you're not real good at golf. He's like, okay, I can take it. Fair enough. But really, everybody fucking hates him probably, and he's an asshole. But you can't say any of that. You know he cheated on his wife. You know that he beats her, stuff like that. But you're not allowed to mention any of that. You just got to make fun of his golf game. Sucks.
But every time you do a show, you guys know this, like, it doesn't matter who it is, and they're like, hey, don't make fun of me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they want you to go after
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they think they're going to be the...
It had never even crossed my mind to go
No,
after you.
never.
You
They-
could not be less interesting.
The person that comes up to you when you're doing that kind of show, or any show for that matter, that comes up to you and says, hey, we're going to be sitting up there, so don't... For them to take that energy in the first place to come up to you, that means they want the attention in the long run.
It's very egotistical, too.
Yeah. So they were like, don't do that. Oh, we're going to be sitting right here, so don't say anything about us. And my husband just lost his job, so don't say anything about that. And my son's a prick, so don't say anything about that.
I actually made up a short list. Here, you can read off.
Please
don't say anything.
Don't say any of these things.
So you just did a gig. You posted on Facebook. It was hilarious. You were standing in the middle of a banquet hall of old people.
Oh, yeah.
What was that all about?
Oh, are you talking about my Lions Club Ashland gig?
First of all, how'd you get booked?
You just got to know the right people, man. They sent me down to Ashland. I just agreed, and I went down there. I didn't know what I was going into. Turns out the Lions Club is a Christian organization for the elderly, apparently.
Sure.
Or I don't know if that's in the bylaws or whether it's just elderly people who want to be a part of it. But
It's a good circuit to get into.
And I went in what I thought was the wrong room, and it was a well-lit gymnasium, and there were a bunch of old people, no lie, playing bingo in there. Over 100 people, I'd say more than that. It doesn't matter. But I turned around and the person who was in charge comes out and is like, no, it's in here. I'm like, oh, God damn it. And it was in.
You peeked your head in awkwardly, I hope to God.
So are you just starting to edit right away? You're like, I can't tell this joke. I can't do this.
And the thing is, it's not even for content this is too blue, because old people don't mind blue stuff or anything like that. But you just can't even say anything about the internet because they don't even know what that is. So you can't do anything.
What's a Facebook?
So honestly, I would have been better if I just would have held up pictures of their grandkids for an hour and talked about how cute they were and how fast they're growing. It would have gone over so much better.
Did you do material on Lucille Ball or Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah, I went back. I went back and did a lot of Great Depression era stuff. No, it was pretty tedious. But honestly, the worst thing is
What's up with rotary phones? Am I right?
Yeah, it was. But it was I wasn't a nervous thing or anything, which is bad because you should still get nervous of those. But it was just all right, here we go.
I do better in those shows. The worse the show is, the better I am.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect anything, and I'm confident.
Yeah.
So I'll just go up and
I wish I had that because I did horribly. I did a terrible job there.
500. I need the big. I do the best on the big thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You to put me in a little room. I'll just immediately start. I can't get into the material. I just can't fake it.
I've seen you.
I can't fake it in a bar where there's I'm standing next to a fucking neon sign. And there's no stage. It's just the people sitting at a bar, and Fred and Tim who are there every day, and there's we're gonna do a show,
Kind of like this podcast.
Yeah, kind of like this. Yeah, I just can't. I can't sit there and expect to tell the jokes and go through it all. I can't do it. I need some professional.
Yeah, you need a sold out. You need to be a headliner. Is what you need to be.
Yeah, I'm not that guy yet. Maybe I'll be that. But I just start immediately.
You do play to the crowd, though.
I immediately will just start insulting people. That's what I do. I just start insulting whatever they do in their own lives to make myself feel better for the misery that I'm currently going through.
So you just take it out on them.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I feel horrible. So now I'm going to make you feel awful.
I just notice it. I honestly, I'm just noticing that there's a camera crew here. What's that about? I don't even know what's going. I was like, it didn't even occur to me because I'm still kind of hungover and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's lights on us. I'm like, why are we being filmed for this podcast? I'm really asking.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's FrisonMedia.com.
It looks good.
It's really cool.
It's amazing equipment, and those are awesome cameras. And there are 3 of them for some reason, as if we're going to go darting off somewhere and you need to pick up an action shot. Why? That seems there might be a little bit of overkill going on here.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it, but what are you doing? Your podcast is also visual, so they can just watch us talking to each other.
I feel like I'm landing.
That's electric television right
I feel
there.
like I'm landing on the moon right now.
It's insane. Do you know you guys should be making a good movie somewhere right now? Don't leave because this is a great investment. But I'm glad you guys are doing it and you teamed up and it's going to be an amazing team. But you guys have some really good stuff here, and we could be doing this with a MacBook. You know that, right?
Well, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. That's why when I get people come down, they're like, "Oh, this is a great operation." That gets out.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And people are going to want to do it.
I want it, but we're
that tripod's more expensive than my couch.
No doubt that tripod's worth more than the camera that I own.
Yeah.
But you guys tape this, then you show it where? Is this playing at the Q right now?
It's at the Q.
Okay.
No, it's online.
It's a listening party.
Oh,
it's a
okay,
watch
so you
party.
Go to, sit down Zumock.com.
I would have got my hair did if I had known. I didn't know that we were had to be pretty.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I had you on.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you could.
Thanks. And this is an amazing production that I just noticed.
Can I ask you this?
I'm listening.
You think you'll ever watch this?
There's a 0% chance.
Honestly.
But it has nothing to do with the quality of their work or your podcasting.
Your chicken fingers are up. Ow! Here, follow with the camera so there can be some action to this.
Can we get some malt vinegar over here?
Oh, this is great. They got great food here, by the way. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We do this every Saturday from 4 to 6 for everyone that's here.
Thank you.
Amazing guests. So you're happy now. You got.
Oh yeah, totally.
Did you ever work in a restaurant, Mike?
I did. I worked at several restaurants.
Where?
Youngstown area. I worked at a catering company and an Italian restaurant.
Were you a server?
A ristorante?
server.
Was it a ristorante?
Yeah, it was a restaurante.
Yeah.
You could tell they had Frank Sinatra music
That's
playing,
how
which
it's
was pretty
real when it's a
original.
ristorante.
And then they actually had pictures of the Rat Pack up, just to let you know that you were in an
Yeah.
Italian place.
Yeah.
It's the little touches like that that really hammer it home what the theme of the restaurant is. And Youngstown was not shy about those.
Yeah.
They always have that one picture of like Sammy with a cigarette laughing.
Uh-huh.
It's always up there at the Italian restaurant.
Like when an Irish restaurant opens up, they give you a Guinness mirror. When an Italian restaurant opens up, they give you that.
The Rat Pack photo,
they're like,
yeah.
Just real desperate attempts to appeal to ethnicities.
I like Subway's new commercial. Come and try the new pizziola. I love when fast food places have like a meatball sub, and they try to make you feel like you're in Rome. Like I'm gonna take a bite of like a fucking marinara and mozzarella sub, and suddenly I'm feeling like I'm in a gondola in Venice. No, I'm in a fucking Subway in Parma. With a fucking some pencil-thin douchebag in front of me with a jersey and a tilted hat. I'm not fucking falling for your horse shit. Is there some asshole sitting there going, ooh, you know, it's like you're on the back going, chow. I mean, fucking idiots.
Just seriously, being on a podcast with Mike Farrell is always, it's seriously just being at the bar with him, except there's a point to it. Sort of, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm reacting the same way that I would if we were at a bar. He'd just be doing that and pointing out
We're having a drink at Corky's.
And I'd just be sitting there nodding and like, all right.
This is exactly what he does at the bar. He just goes off on things. He's so irritable.
Look at this guy with a red hat on, wearing his red hat. Like, what are you, from Limp Bizkit?
Yeah.
What are you?
Fred Durst?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know how they don't use all sometimes it's not even a fitted hat. It's like one of those ones you have to adjust. It's like, oh yeah, you're a rich guy, huh?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The guy's like walking. He has shoes on. Look at him. He's like walking.
He hates the most obscure things.
Yeah.
Glasses.
The guy probably drives a car to get places.
Yeah, how'd you get here?
Yeah.
Asshole.
These chicken fingers are to die for.
Okay.
And I know they're known for their pizza here. I've had their pizza. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But the chicken fingers are solid.
Yeah.
You can tell that they weren't in the back of the freezer. They were towards the front. Almost fresh.
You can tell you can tell if the chicken fingers are good by where they're placed in the freezer.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Really? You're a chicken finger connoisseur.
At one of the places I bartended at forever, they made the mistake of like giving the bartenders access to this kind of food. I mean, we just robbed the place blind.
Yeah.
I gained like 27 pounds.
Yeah.
Then they just stopped having food. That was their solution. It was a good move.
No, go back to this Italian restaurant. Were you a server there?
I was a server, yes.
Yeah. Were you a good server?
I can answer that. No.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I'm real forgetful. I was affable, but I just could never remember anything. So I'd have to come back like 30
I, on the other hand,
times.
was a fucking amazing server.
Oh, I can see that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm one of the best ever.
Really?
You've been
Fucking-
training your whole
fucking
life.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm amazing. I'm great at it. I'm fucking amazing.
You did the whole like.
People would look at me and be like, just fucking like servers would not even. They'd start looking at me like, how's he doing that? And
It's
they're
a
like,
gift, man. I'm not lying. It is.
I was very bad at it. I mean, we've pointed that out on the last podcast that I wasn't a very good bartender either. But Mike, you were actually worse than I was when it came to bartending. Mm-hmm. Because I remember you told me a story that you used to bartend out in Avon Lake. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy there who was really into bartending. He had a ponytail.
Yeah.
And he tried to do some like cocktail tricks with you. And he tried to throw a bottle at you, and you just let it drop to the floor.
See, I didn't even have to come on here. You could just tell stories about me, and I could just. No, it's true. But that was like, I could bartend efficiently when I needed to, but that was just nonsense. It was a plaza bar in Avon Lake.
You could bartend in the bar that like you could bartend in like a Corky's.
Yeah, totally.
Where
I kill it there.
you like bars that where there's no faking anything going on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
There's no like dude like hey, you know, you don't like anything like you like just like dudes in a bar hanging out watching the game, drinking their beers, A good old-fashioned, any Lakewood bar, you'd be pretty much okay.
Not magician bartenders who are like,
You don't like flair though?
Shit.
You don't like when they
I
throw
hate
up
flair.
You don't like when people throw
Yeah.
bottles?
I have no
up?
patience for flair.
You don't want to have to pronounce Grand Marnier. You don't want to ever have to do that.
You don't like when they like do a row of shots and they catch him on fire and then he does some trick and they
No,
go.
it's a bunch of nonsense. Give me my drink.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just trying to egg you on.
I know.
That's good.
Liquid into a bottle. Liquid into a shot glass.
No, but I really wanted to try to interview you. That was my whole goal. Was like I really wanted to try to interview you.
Did you really think that you were going to get through?
No, I thought I could. I thought maybe like he could have some. At one point, I could break down the wall that you have up.
I don't really have, I don't enjoy talking about myself. I don't know what the big deal is. Like, you know.
Okay.
And it's an uncharacteristic, I would say, comedian trait for the most part, and that's why comedians have so many podcasts and they're so successful, because they all have each other on and blow each other all day and talk about their methods and where they started, and they love talking about themselves, and I just don't dig it.
What's your method?
You know?
Okay.
But you want to talk about, you know, sports, politics, religion, city events, you know.
I want to talk about myself.
Okay.
I'm completely into myself. I want to talk about the process, the performance, everything.
Break it down.
I don't want to talk
Who
about.
is Mike
I
Barrow?
don't want to talk about religion, politics, sports.
You know what?
I'll talk about sport. I'll fucking ESPN is sadder. SportsCenter is sadder than the real news.
Oh, you guys are probably on the same page. I got
I'm with you there.
very
I fucking
similar
hate
text
SportsCenter.
messages from both of you when LeBron James just came back, and you guys were both furious about how SportsCenter covered it. Why do you hate SportsCenter?
Several reasons. One, they're not a fucking comedy show. Okay? They're not a skit show. They're not Saturday Night Live. I'm sick of seeing fucking the outtakes on SportsCenter. You're bringing me my sports news. Secondly, I don't need you wearing a $500 or $5,000 Armani double-breasted suit to bring me my sports news. Get a clipboard and a fucking whistle like some fat asshole on the sidelines. Okay? I don't need you in that suit to rub in how much money you're making, sitting there with your dick in your hands, talking to some hot chick about sports to me. And why does SportsCenter keep asking me the question? Should LeBron go back to Cleveland?
I think you
You're
did this on the
fucking
last
SportsCenter.
podcast.
Tell me what the fucking sports is. Don't ask me questions.
Yeah. What do you feel about female sportscasters?
I think they only got the job because they're hot.
Really?
That's it.
Really?
I think every one of them's drop dead gorgeous.
I gotta admit, like when Hannah Storm, she's like 55. I'm still like looking at her, and I'm
Is there an unattractive SportsCenter?
Stuart
ESPN?
Scott? Looks like a cyclops.
No, I'm talking about women.
Female.
I don't know one. There's not one where I'd be like, ugh. I mean, they're all attractive.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Why do you hate SportsCenter, Mike?
Give me 1 second on this breadstick and I'll tell you. Breadsticks are good too, by the way.
Okay.
I recommend them.
I recommend the pizza. They got good pizza.
Here's what I want on SportsCenter. I don't want inspirational stories about how some NFL cornerback's son learned to walk again and that's why he's good at football now. I don't care about that. I really don't. That's great.
Does
but I
it make
don't
you
care.
feel good though?
No, I don't want that. I don't want any backstory. I don't want to know about. I don't even care about who recently got arraigned in the NFL. I just want scores, like a rolling scoreboard.
Really?
That's all I want. I don't care. I don't care about human interest of sports. I don't. These people aren't worth knowing.
Like the guy from the Boston Celtics who had the heart operation. He fought back. They showed him in the treadmill.
Yeah,
Now
that might be inspirational to some people, but that's not ESPN anymore. Like SportsCenter, that's like a Lifetime movie or something like that, or that should be something like that. Like SportsCenter should just be like, here's who beat this team and here's who beat this team. And here's why I was mad after that Cavs loss.
You know, I'm actually glad I had both of you guys on for this. This is good. For
Good.
Cleveland sports, go.
It's real important.
Yeah.
No, and this is what I said. Here's what made me mad. I watched that SportsCenter the other day, and after the Cavs blew that huge lead on Miami. Now, what they had a bunch of scrubs in there. Essentially, the Canton Charge was playing a future Hall of Fame All-Star team. You know what I mean? And they hung with them. They were beating the shit out of them in the first half, whatever. Who knows? And that stuff happens. Even when I saw that score at the end of the first half, I knew that we weren't going to hang on to that lead. How they lost was unfortunate and sad.
Yeah.
But ESPN, I decided, I think I hate even more than LeBron James because LeBron James he's just some kid. He's some self-centered kid, and he's self-centered because we made him this way. A million dads in the Akron area have been blowing him his whole life.
Yeah.
So he became like if that's your whole reality and that's all you ever know, then of course you're going to become a monster.
I don't blame him anymore.
No, I can't. But ESPN, that's a room full of adults who have tried to create this controversy more than it is. You know, whenever they show the burning jersey thing,
I was part of that.
they show it's one bar of people burning jerseys, and it's on my asshole friends. It's Chad and Heron.
We're in the Harry Buffalo parking lot. That burning jersey was us.
But based on ESPN, you would think that would, like, we all simultaneously walked out the back door with our LeBron James jerseys on, took them off, put them on the ground, and lit them on fire across the entire city. But they keep showing that exact same shot sometimes from like a different angle, or they put it in black and white, or put different music under it.
It's like that one clip the Taliban over the monkey bars.
Everybody,
like the fucking monkey bar clip.
In Cleveland was burning jerseys, and they're still using that fucking clip, and they used it again. That's true. They used it.
Sorry, I have children.
Yeah, I'll take one.
There you go. I'm good right now.
Yeah.
So they used that clip again after the Heat somehow came back and beat the worst Cavs team that we've had this year without our 3 best players. And they're like, tragedy in Cleveland again. And they're trying to make us feel like this fucking matters. Who cares? Yeah. They want us to care so much more than we do. And of course there are a bunch of jocks and meatheads who care, and they're like, go home and beat their wives because the Cavs lose. And that's sad, but screw them. Yeah. Don't speak for the whole city and act like we're all out crying or thinking, I guess we are talking about him right now, fuck.
Yeah.
But the point is, we don't care nearly as much as they want us to. Yeah. Who did the decision? So they show it next to the shot. They show it next to the drive and the fumble. Whose monster is that? ESPN's. You think LeBron had the intelligence to like call ESPN and say, I should have a special? No, ESPN's like, you know what you should do, LeBron, since you're so important? And he's just like, yeah, I am important. You're right. I should do that. I will have a special and do that. I will come and do that. So that's what he said. And then ESPN's like, yeah, that's fine. And then they're like, can you believe LeBron's doing this? Of course they did, because you had a bunch of network douchebags who put it together, and you tricked this simple fuck into coming and doing that. That's really what it comes down to. I hate ESPN. He's powerless without the media, and we just keep blowing it up and making it seem like what he does.
Without all that, they're just basketball players. They're really good at the game.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line. I respect the skill level, the ability. I like my teams. I'm a fan of my teams. I'll be the first one at an Indians game. I'm going to the Indians home opener. I'll be the first one there. Me and all my drunk cousins will be there, and I'll be going, yeah, and I'll be having a great time. If my team's winning, I'll be having a fantastic time. I like the game. I appreciate the game, but I'm sick of adult males, sitting at a bar, watching Sports Center on mute, and praying at the altar of these fucking athletes. When I was a kid, I had a Michael Jordan poster on my wall, okay? And athletes are inspirational when you're a kid, but I think when you get to a certain age, it's just a fucking dude who's really good at something, and the media is perpetuating this fucking horse shit over the last 10 years about how we should all just be praying. Just water, buddy, if I could get you. Yeah. He's not going to do that because there's no thrill in a water. There's no thrill in you getting me a water right now. So you're not going to get one. You don't have to get me a water, Reggie. No, I want water. I got to go. I got to go after this. I'm good.
Yeah. He's got to get.
Yeah. Sorry for trying to be responsible.
Anything goes on this podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm just sick of grown adults praying at the altar of these athletes anymore. It's fucking
real sad.
It's disgusting to me.
I mean, I wrote an essay about it a long time ago.
Dude, Braylon Edwards was in the map room last night.
Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? He's a 22-year-old kid is really, really good at football. I'm not 12 years old. I'm not watching the dunk contest going, oh, it's fucking, it's childish to me that
to make it even sadder,
By the way, you guys should hang out more.
Yeah, I know. The dudes who worship high school football, like the grown men who don't even have a son, those are the ones that make me. Or have a son and he doesn't speak to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak to him anymore. He's got daughters. That's the saddest when it's
My
all
nephew
daughters.
goes
but he's
to
still,
Ed's.
And he's like, he's talking about high school football. He's talking about like a 15-year-old kid and acting. He's just like, I like this kid. He's gonna be tough. He's a child. You sad, sad little man. What is wrong with you? You're worshiping a 15-year-old boy?
He loves
His balls haven't dropped. And you're acting like, and you're talking about how Menner's gonna be good next year because they got a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh my God, just kill yourself.
I'd be like being behind the bar and two fucking dudes will walk in.
This is great, I don't have to do any work.
Two dudes will walk in, right? This is the saddest it gets for me. Here's the saddest it gets for me. I'll turn around, two guys with like hats on a Saturday afternoon, they'll be sitting there and it's fucking downtown Cleveland and they'll be like, hey dude, can you turn on the Baylor Connecticut game? I'm just thinking, why? Why the fuck do you want to watch this? Who fucking cares about the Baylor Connecticut game?
Talk to each other, you know? Talk to somebody.
God.
Go,
And I'm
meet a
sitting
lady.
there like a dick, fucking breaking the remote, going, "Why are these fucking assholes in Cleveland? You better have money on this, you pricks, because why the fuck do you want to watch this?" It just sports just really. Like I said, I like the game. I respect the game. I like my teams, but that's it. And everything else is all shit. To me, everything else is completely shit. It is. It's just completely dog shit. It's complete dog shit. Like that fucking machine over there, dude. You know, it's fucking horse shit, dude. I would kill if I ever put $1 into that fucking golf machine.
People who are only
Just
listening to the podcast and not watching it won't know what you just referenced. So now they're gonna have to go back and watch the
Yeah,
whole
they're gonna
thing.
have to go and watch.
That's
this.
called inner marketing.
It was a golden tea machine.
I don't know if anyone that's listening is enjoying this as much as I am right now. This is amazing.
I doubt they are.
No, they're
This
not.
is like therapy for you two. I love
I
it.
had way more fun when I did it the last time, and I went and watched it. I was like almost falling asleep. I'm like
You got
watching
more.
myself.
Yeah.
No, watching
Well,
watching
put
my
it in your
thing.
iPod. Listen
No,
to
I
it.
watched the whole thing. It was
you
good.
watched it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay.
It was good production.
Yeah. We should have a watch party for this. You
We should totally all get together. Yeah.
come to your house and we'll watch.
Halftime.
You cool for Azon Media? We'll hook that up.
You know what we should do too? We should podcast while we're watching it. You get these guys back together.
We'll do like Mystery Science Theater.
Podcast of a podcast.
I like what I said right there.
I completely agree with myself. I should have said something there.
Yeah.
So you know you guys are Clevelanders, obviously, and you guys are rooting for your sports teams and stuff. What makes you want to stay?
Let's talk a little tribe.
But what makes you want to stay here in Cleveland? Because there's a lot of comedians like I'll have like on here, and they don't understand why we stay here.
Well,
One-
right now I can't leave. The courts will come after me.
True.
So it's more of like a thing for me. Like I have to be here.
Mike, you can go anywhere you want, anytime.
That was-
Anybody can. The
Yeah.
mega bus is like $20.
Yeah. Why don't you just pack it up and put your guitar on your back? Just that photo of you hiking down the street and just go start up somewhere
Just
new.
David Banner down the road.
Yeah.
I think we're all happy as Cleveland comedians that like 20 or 30 people know us, and that's enough for us. You know what I mean? Like 20 or 30 people know who the fuck I am now, and I'm like kind of happy about that. Like I'll be in a Target, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be like, "Hey, did I see you open for Bill Burr?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and they'll be like, "That was good," and I'll be like, "That keeps me in Cleveland for another year."
I like the non-compliment citing when somebody says, "Hey, I think I saw you one time at Pickwick." I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah," and then he walks away. I'm like, "All right, man. Yeah, thanks." It's kind of open-ended.
Do you work here?
That actually happened to me recently. There's like 4 shows that I've done that everybody has. Apparently, everybody in the world were there. I opened for Nick Swartzen once at Kent. To this day, no matter where I go, they're like, "Didn't you open for Nick Swartzen? I saw you, right?" And that recently happened to me. I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." He's like, "Yeah, I knew that was you," and he walked away. Nothing. I was like, "What did I do? All right?" Nothing. I didn't get anything. But do you have like those 4 shows or like the one show that everyone knows you from? That you did, that you opened up for? Or you...
All right, well, I'll tell you what, it was a Tuesday night with Bobby Collins. 6
Here we
years
go.
ago.
This story again. You never
He's heard it so many times he can tell it himself.
boring story about opening for Bobby Collins.
Everyone's open for Bobby Collins at one
Let me ask you, Chad.
Okay.
How are you enjoying this podcast? Not this one in particular, but this whole thing.
I'm having fun with it.
How are you liking it? What's better and worse about it than your old job?
It's free. I'm free. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I'm not getting yelled at. I'm not getting yanked into an office because I said something on the air or I tweeted something out. Somebody's not always telling me what to do. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can have whoever I want on. Nobody's like, "Oh, I don't want him on."
What don't you like about it? What's worse about it?
Well, when you're on a radio show, you got a 50-watt signal that goes out into people's cars. So there's hardly any work, no heavy lifting here. You got to promote, you got to get it out there.
Yeah, people actually have to seek this out
Yeah.
as opposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like laziness. You can just turn on the old radio station, but here you got to actually look for it. You got to go to iTunes. You got to, Google search it.
And for Americans, most of the time, that's hard.
Yeah. Exactly. But
It's just so much easier to just...
and there's obviously the pros and cons to anything you do. But the more I start looking into podcasting, and I never wanted to be the podcast comedian because there's so many goddamn podcasts. But everybody wanted me to start a podcast when I got fired. Like I got email after email, like, "You should do a podcast." Since I have a non-compete, I can't go back on the radio. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a goddamn podcast, and I'm glad I did it because it's fun. I'm having fun listening to your stories. That's fun to me.
Yeah.
Hopefully other people are enjoying it, and they are. I'm getting a couple emails and stuff, so, you know.
Can you tell how many people are listening to it?
Well, yeah, there's subscribers.
There's schematics.
What's the marketing strategy? How do you What's the best way to market at this podcast?
What's your mission statement?
Very grassroots. We're kind of learning we're on the fly right now, and
Is this their first podcast? I'm acting. No, I mean first time that you took or did one of these.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
yeah. So yeah, it's a
You're
whole.
holding the microphone.
Well, he was responding. No, it's like really grassroots. So who knows what can happen? This could be huge. And I like just doing new things. You know me. I'm always doing something different, or I just try it out. Why not? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Courageous of you.
Yeah, exactly.
You've
So-
always been right, you know.
Say 10 months
Right on
from
the
now.
ledge.
10 months from now,
Yeah.
I'll have you guys back on. This place will be packed. We built it.
I'd like to come back in a couple of weeks, actually, if that's okay.
You come back whenever you want.
Yeah.
No, this is fun. I mean, people are enjoying it, so we'll see.
Do you know how above peer pressure drinking I am at this point?
Yeah.
I'm so confident and comfortable with my drinking, like as far as like that I drink enough. That like when somebody's just like, dude, you got to, man. I'm just like, no, I don't. I was like, pussy. I'm like, that's fine. I'm a pussy. You're right.
You drink like a girl?
Go scream it from the mountains. Well, I'm like, I threw up like twice yesterday.
You come from an Irish family. When was the first time you ever drank?
It wasn't like, my parents weren't real super permissive with that. They weren't like passing it to us when we were 5 or anything. I'm sure I had a shot or two when I was being colicky as a baby, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I drank like normal people, like in high school where you just get together with your buddies and you try, and you're like, are we doing it right? You know? I mean, to this day,
Are we doing it right?
I still can't drink rum or well rum because when you don't know how to drink yet, you don't know that you can only drink a certain amount of that, so you just like, you know, plug your nose and drink it. And a bunch of us would sit around and we're just like, we'd drink like a pint glass of rum. You know, we're just like,
Because straight rum.
yeah. And that's when peer pressure did work on me. And somebody's like, there's no way you could drink a pint glass of rum. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I would drink it and then I would almost die.
Right.
And so now like, still when I smell that, it's just the worst thing in the entire world.
No, I get
wanna
that.
I get a gag reflex in my mouth. I still can't. And I bartended forever. And even when I would pour like well rum,
It takes you back to that spot.
Yep.
Wow.
Olfactory senses, memory is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
And I just almost throw up every time I smell it. So I had some bad early experiences, but I think I really worked out all the kinks
You got it down?
over the years. And
He's
now
a pro now.
Yeah, I'm
He's been
pretty good
doing
at it.
I'm pretty damn good at it too.
Absolutely. When did
I'm
you
a
start
pro.
drinking? You're like, you guys have the same backgrounds.
Yeah, we
Pretty much.
have pretty much the same background.
I got drunk a couple times when I was 5 or 6.
Years old.
Yeah, because
What the hell are you drinking that
completely true. Not making it up.
Who would make that up? Why would you brag about that?
I'm not bragging. Yeah, it was sad, and my family hates telling
Did you
me
hear
the story.
somebody be like, no way? No, we all agree. We know that happened.
My mother was the oldest or second oldest of 8 children, and she went with my stepdad at the time. Left me at my grandparents' house. So my older uncles and aunts were more like brothers and sisters to me. They were still in high school, and I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. So I was left in the care of like my grandparents. Well, my grandparents would go to bed, and it was a big house, right, with a basement, and they used to have just wild, kick-ass parties down there. Like the younger ones would have kick-ass parties down there, and then I would be down there, and they'd be like playing like Eddie Money albums, and I'd be like jamming out and hanging out, and this is all true. And they'd be sitting there, and then they'd like blow pot smoke in my face and be like, ha ha ha, and I'd be loving it and dancing around, and like then they'd blow some more, and I'd be like playing air guitar, and then they would all pass out, and then
So you
I would
like
go
that
to
lifestyle at an
I
early
would go
age.
to sleep, yeah, and then I would wake up in the morning and like go grab like at 5:30 in the morning and go down and grab like a half drinking Genesee cream ale can. God knows what was in it.
Oh, yeah.
And just drink
Cigarette
that.
butts.
I would drink that and then pass out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was similar. Like, I didn't get drunk until later in life. Actually, the first time I ever got drunk was with this kid over here. That's a true story. Mike Polk in college.
I'm not taking credit for that.
You got
Yeah.
drunk? You didn't get drunk in high school?
No, I mean, I drank like a beer or two, but I was just so like underdeveloped as a person because I came from a horrible background. I was late to everything. But the first time I ever got drunk was Mike. But I remember when I was younger, my mom was a partier. She liked to kick it. And all her boyfriends looked just like Michael Stanley. Every single one of them. Yeah. Or Stallone from Nighthawks. And I remember waking up, and
Are you sure they weren't all really Michael Stanley?
I wish. That would have been amazing. I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and she had a party, and there's a guy who looked like Michael Stanley. He was like rolling a joint and smoking a joint at the same time.
Wow.
And I just remember, that stinks. That cigarette smells. But that was the first time I ever
All
smelled.
my mom's boyfriends look like Sam Elliott.
They got the long mustache?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
From Mask. Remember Sam Elliott? Hey, Rocky.
Oh, yeah, Rocky
Yeah,
Dennis.
that was my mom's boyfriend.
All my mom's boyfriends look like Rocky Dennis.
Yeah.
No, growing up, and I always saw my mom, and I never wanted to be, I went through this period where I hated my mom, so I never wanted to do the things she did, so I never drank, I never smoked pot, I never done anything, so.
Until you realize how much fun it was.
I was like, this is great, what was I doing? No, I've never smoked weed. We talked about this.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm always late to the game on everything. I think I'm gonna start when I'm 46.
Yeah, that's a good time jumping.
You know, why not? Do heroin when I'm, 80.
Yeah, mix it up.
Go out with a bang. Never smoked weed. Yeah. No, wait.
I think he's gonna bring some over if you're not. That's the guy who keeps bringing.
What are you
beers.
smoking? What are you smoking? What are you smoking?
You've never done meth?
You guys never tried heroin?
What are you shooting? What are you shooting? What are you shooting?
What is the craziest drug you've ever done, Mike?
That's it. I've only smoked weed. I've never done anything else.
Yeah, I've been uncourageous in that as well.
I did mushrooms.
smoked
That
weed,
was, but that was dumb.
You were in the Army.
Sure.
Well, did you do anything over there? Like, you were overseas in like Iraq.
No, they got a handle on that shit now.
Really?
No. I was over there for a year. I didn't have a drop of alcohol for a year.
Not one? You didn't booze up?
You can't. There wasn't anything. I'm sure like I was like a private dude. I'm sure like
Yeah.
I'm sure like the uppers, they all, the officers or whatnot. I'm sure they had like a stash of some shit in their bags and.
You guys weren't making toilet booze or anything? I always see that
man.
going down.
We were
Is that not a real thing? Is that just in like movies I saw?
I was too frightened to like ruin everything. I'm like, there was like a countdown for me. It was like, all right, am I gonna? I have 2 years left. I've been here 2 years. Am I gonna fuck this up?
And you worked your way up to private in 2 years.
Yeah.
They must have seen something in you.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not gonna do anything to screw this up, So I just was really, really, really frightened of.
Was it Iraq that you were in? What was the war? Where were you?
I was in the Middle East in 1996, which is ironically was the most peaceful year we've had over there. It was after the Gulf
Nothing was
War.
going on.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
They knew that you were over there representing.
It was after the war, and then after all the new shit, before all that, it was kind of right in the middle, and it was like the least amount of shit going on over there.
Have you ever killed a man before?
No, never.
Do veterans always come up to you and be like, "Hey man, thanks
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much,
That's the most awkward fucking thing too.
man.
Thanks for your service. Really? I fucking hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
I just did it for the college money that I didn't use. So fuck you.
Did you ever wear that outfit out, like to the bars?
I got robbed at gunpoint. One of the 2 times I got robbed at gunpoint here in safe.
Terrible
safe old
soldier.
Cleveland.
He's just a terrible soldier.
I was wearing
Soldier of all time.
I was hammered, and I went to an American Legion bar. If you know, that's like like a veterans. I went with my brother-in-law who's in the Air Force, and I just go, I'm gonna wear my old military field jacket just for the fuck of it. Because I'm going to an American Legion bar, so I'm going to represent.
Right.
And,
You were trying to get free drinks or ass?
It's like 50 cents for a can of Busch Light. You give them $2.
Yeah, they have really good deals in there.
Yeah, you give them like $2. The old woman that has like throat cancer is going, oh my God, and she thinks that she hit the jackpot. You tipped her like $5 the whole night. She's like, ah! She's flipping out because guys are in there drinking. So we were just hammered, walked home, and I was wearing that jacket, and I got robbed at gunpoint.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Of your jacket? They took your jacket?
No, they took my wallet.
Wow. Those bars are so depressing. My dad, even though he dodged the draft in Numb, but somehow he was still taking me to American Legion bars all the time and stuff.
Well, you knew where the deals were.
There is no way that whatever those guys went through in Vietnam and World War II is worse than the bars that they're sitting at. There's absolutely no way. They're so fucking depressing. It's just Lee Greenwood playing, if there's any music at all, and then like just 3 guys just like sitting there waiting to die.
Not talking to each other.
Not talking at all
Just,
because
just
that would.
a fucking dude
Yeah.
silent, looking at nothing.
I learned how to not be friendly over there, and then they just stare straight ahead. It's so gross.
Did you ever even have any thoughts whatsoever going into the military?
No, never crossed my mind.
Not once.
No, I mean one of the only reasons that I would ever even consider it would be to make people. You know how like it automatically settles any argument. Like if you got in an argument about foreign affairs or diplomacy or something like that, or anything political, you could just on a message board or to a person be like, I actually served in the military, and then whatever you said is right, and they're just like, oh well, all right, never mind. Thank you for your service. I guess you're right.
So you just want to serve the country so you can be right.
Just so I can end arguments.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do a joke in stand-up where the part of the joke is where I say I was in the military or I was in the service or whatever, and people start clapping, and then I just always have to wait for that moment, and I just try to talk over the clapping. I'm like, and you know what else? Like I go right into the next part of it. I don't want to wait. I just say I say thank you in a sarcastic way. You know.
I was with a comic, and he was the middle guy, and he was talking about, or he was in the Army, and he was an ex-police officer, and he was an ex-firefighter, and he made very
and he
sure
played
that
hockey.
people knew that. He made the MC say that when he went up, and I remember he stopped the MC before the show and said, "Hey, bro," he goes, "really got to make sure to tell people that I was in the Army and in this and a police officer."
This guy's my nightmare.
And he was like, but he was still acted surprised whenever they said it. He's like, "Nah, that's how I get brought up. I don't know why, but." And then he mentions it, and all the hillbillies applaud and stuff like that. And then, after, and then I had to go up before or after him, and I'm just like, man, he was a police officer and a fireman in the Army. I'm like, that guy can't keep a fucking job, right? That's great. And it was like, boo!
You're an asshole.
He's a hero.
Guy's a hero, goddammit.
Yeah.
Better switch the subject, buddy. I had somebody say that to me. I started ripping on NASCAR. I did a show in Monroeville, Ohio.
Oh.
I just started busting on NASCAR, and this guy's just sitting in the front row just going, better switch the fucking subject content, buddy. I mean, it was literally, I was standing in a bar like this, and there was a guy right there, and he goes, you better fucking switch it up, buddy. He had a hat on, and he just he got off work. He's just already drinking it.
There was an old guy at that terrible gig that we just talked about with all the old people at the Lions Club, and I made some joke about gays or something like that, and it was not anti-gay enough for him. It was more like pro-gay, and he said, I don't want to hear about that.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what a curveball. I'm like, a 200-year-old man in a bolo tie who doesn't want to hear about gays being equal. And old people are like, ha, ha, ha. And he's like, bleh. He got up and left, for an hour and a half.
Well, that's what everyone should do. If you don't like it, just get up and leave.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all you got to do. If you get up and leave, I'm fine with it.
Hope.
Well, I got to apologize to him.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know that you hate gays. If I would have known coming in that you were a bigot, I wouldn't have done anything.
Well, I did a show recently, and it was I won't name the names, but it was heavily how could I describe the crowd? Gay. It was a gay crowd, and there was some feminists there, and I do a joke about I was dating a 20-year-old, and I go, if you're 20 years old, I said she had affection issues, and by affection issues I mean she didn't blow me. And if you're 21 years old, that's your job. You blow guys. That's what you do.
Right.
And the whole place just got quiet. It was just like, oh my God. What's going on? And afterwards, they were just looking at me. They were disgusted.
Yeah.
And I'm
that's probably an idea of knowing the room a little bit.
Yeah.
Might have been in your delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I don't want to be a misogynist. I was just trying to be funny. And I tried to explain the joke.
Bolo tie guy would have loved that joke.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. But the whole gist was just like,
and that's the thing about comedy, people. See, what can happen from show to show is
get his
seminar. You
seminar.
can say that joke one night, and the next night it'll bomb.
Yeah.
That's what'll happen. That's the process you have to go
Let's
through.
break it down further.
That's why I'm doing this podcast, people, because the younger comics that are listening. So this is perfect that you bring that up, Mike.
Yeah.
It's almost like a tutorial on how to get started and where to go.
Let's dissect the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Really take all the fun out of comedy.
Yeah.
So do you like when people in the military wear their outfits out? Are you a fan of that?
I don't see it often, do I? I don't see it often.
You see
You see it around the military base all the time.
No, you don't see that? Like when it's flight week here?
Yeah.
All the pilots are wearing their shit out?
Well, they know that they can get laid doing that.
That's what it is. That's my point.
They know that they can get laid doing that. And
do you think they want the attention?
That's fine. More power to them. They need to get,
Yeah, I don't begrudge them. I mean, I do begrudge everybody who might fall for it. Like if it's a girl who's, But
it's no different than wearing it's no different than wearing a suit and going to a nice place and you're just like, it's no different.
Or being known for wearing a sweater vest and wearing it to the bar all the time.
Sure.
I think comedians, we should have outfits like the military, and we can just wear them out, and they're like, oh, that guy's a comic. We should.
Yeah, what would the comedian outfit be?
Well, it used to be like a Hawaiian shirt with a blazer over top of it.
Or a bowling shirt, or like a bowling button up.
Bowling shirt with fire on the side.
Yeah.
You would know right away, oh, here comes a comedian.
Yeah,
thank you for your service.
I think you just described Jeff Blanchard's headshot.
The blazer with the white New Balance, like the Seinfeld look.
Yeah.
Like the blazer, collar shirt,
Yeah.
light colored tight jeans. And how about some white New Balance sneakers?
Yeah.
That's a good like late 80s, early 90s. They got the headshot like this.
Yeah.
This has to have been an hour already.
It has to have been.
No,
I have to go. I have to go.
I don't. I can stay, but
I swear to God, I have lawheads coming to my house for dinner, and then we got to go out and do this thing.
Sure.
I have a lasagna in the oven.
So you're leaving to take the lasagna out?
No, I literally have to go home. I have to drive home. It takes me like 20 minutes. Lawheads come to my house. I don't want them to be there with my parents, because that'd be awkward without me there. So we're gonna eat dinner, and then I gotta go. Well, how long does it take me? I can stay for 5 more minutes.
Well, that's what we need. We're wrapping up in 5 minutes.
What are you and Lawhead doing later?
We're gonna go see. We're gonna stop down and catch the late show at Hilarities.
Okay.
Are you gonna come down?
No, but
Okay.
I'll
good.
meet up afterwards.
Okay. Where are you gonna be?
We're at Playhouse Square.
Hey, why don't
tonight.
you text me, or I'll
Yeah.
text you,
All
or
right.
you might not text me.
I'd like to see him.
I'll
while
meet up
he's
with
in
you
town.
guys.
Playhouse Square.
Yeah, we're the sketch group.
It's a fascinating podcast.
Man, we're not going there.
Sorry.
You know where I'm going tonight?
Where are you going?
True story. I'm going to Kyrie Irving's birthday party over there. It's gonna be a nightmare. I'm only going for a couple minutes, and then I'm leaving.
It's nice of you to pop in.
What? Oh, I don't know.
I have a few suggestions. I'm just kidding. He's an enthused fan.
No, but I'm actually I don't want to go because I don't feel good in those situations. Like I really don't. Like
Then why the hell are you going there? That sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Well, I'm going with a couple people that asked me to go, and I had I already told them I would.
Is there a free
Doesn't mean
ticket
anything.
involved?
You can tell him you don't want to now.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go. And,
I'm just not going to sympathize with you for going to Kyrie Irving's birthday party when you have the choice not to.
Well, I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna stay all night. So
Okay.
I can meet up with you guys later.
All right. That was a really complicated way to name drop the fact that you're going to Kyrie
No,
Irving's
that's.
birthday party. You know.
But the reason why I brought it up is
Right.
because
Because you want people to know you're going to Kyrie Irving's birthday party.
No, and it's like those situations where I don't do well interacting with those athlete people.
That's not true at all. I've seen you talk to a million of them, and you're actually way better at it than most people.
But for me, I'm a wreck doing it.
Okay.
Because
you don't have to, right? There's not some law that says you have to talk to every athlete that walks by.
well, sometimes I'll make eye contact and I feel like I gotta say something.
Well, just don't look at them. I'm just saying, all these problems are easily avoided.
You met a lot of them through radio, though.
No, just from around.
I mean, you almost have. You can't just be like, "Hey, see ya."
Well, because sometimes I'm I'll make eye contact. I'm like, should I say something? Do they know who I am?
Yeah.
So I got to go up and interact. Break down that wall.
I have to go out of my way to not speak to an athlete.
Because what if I don't say hi and they go and tell somebody on the Browns or Zumock?
You know who I like to talk to? Old school Browns players. If I see Brian Brennan, I'm like, Brian Brennan, number 86.
Yeah.
Mr. Third Down. I go right up to him like, holy shit, like somebody from my childhood.
Yeah.
If I see Kosar, I'll flip out.
Yeah.
You show me, if I saw Peyton Manning at Target, I'd be like, fucking Peyton Manning, who gives a fuck? I just wouldn't care. I wouldn't.
Okay, we're going to end with this. We're going to do a tight five.
Great.
Okay. Sponsored by frizzonmedia.com and Gillespie's Map Room on West 9th. I'm going to ask each one of you guys a question, and then you answer it.
All right.
Okay. Mike.
I'm ready.
Polk.
Oh, is this the voice, the quick response thing?
No, that was another game.
That was another game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to mix it up from time to time.
Okay.
It's a type 5 questions.
He wants to do one at the end.
You can do one at the end. Yeah, I promise. I will. Let me get through this, Reg. Okay, best karate movie of all time. Karate Kid or Enter the Dragon?
Oh, wow. I mean, nostalgia makes me say Karate Kid.
Okay.
But for the karate purist, I'm sure it's Enter the Dragon, obviously. But I relate that one more to my youth. So personally, I would rather sit through the Karate Kid.
Gotcha. Mike Farrell. Same question.
For me? Mm-hmm. God damn, that's tough. I'm going to go... I go Karate Kid also, and I think for the same reasons. That movie brings me back to a nice place in my life.
Simpler time.
nostalgia childhood when I didn't have a fucking thing to do.
We
other
still
than
had
to
hope.
Sit down and watch Karate Kid.
We still could be anything we wanted to be when we grew up.
You could be Ralph Macchio if you wanted. You could be Daniel LaRusso and meet Allie and go to golf and stuff.
We didn't know where this was going to end up.
Yeah, I could have did that. Although Enter the Dragon is, but that's more like fucking if you're really into karate. Karate Kid had other things going on.
Yeah.
Had an American life.
Oh, I identify with that movie all the
Plus,
way.
it's on G4 network every other day.
My whole life was just like the Karate Kid, single parent household. The only thing I didn't learn was karate.
Yeah,
So I got my ass kicked all day.
You're not a champion at anything.
No. So I just got beat up. I never got a hot shit. It sucked. Okay. Mike. What is the best name for a pet?
I'm sorry?
What's the best name for a pet?
Boy, that's tough. I guess Dave.
Dave.
That's the best name for a pet. It's really open up to anybody's interpretation. That's the best name though for a pet of all time.
Mike Farrell. Best name for a pet.
I hate dogs. I hate cats. I hate pets. I think they're fucking awful. I think they're a waste of time.
Was that to set him up to hate on animals? Is that why you did that?
Yeah, I think they're a complete waste of time. But if I had a pet, I would probably name it. I'd probably do like a real cheesy thing and go to like a name of a musician I like maybe or something like that. If I had to do it, I will never do it.
Leonard Skinnerd or something?
Nah, I'd
Come here,
probably
slow hand.
Yeah,
Is that what you would
something
say?
like that.
Billy
You know what I
Joel.
mean? The Boss. Come here, the Boss.
Okay. Mike Polk, how do you want to remember Gordon Jump? From WKRP or Mr. Horton's Bike Shop on Different Strokes?
Oh, definitely the bike shop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his cross to bear. Don't take the part if you're not ready to carry the baggage.
Yeah.
You know?
That episode still haunts me to this day.
It was bold of him to take that role on, but I still, that's how he's going to be known, unfortunately.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't remember Mr. Horton's Bike Shop?
No.
Gordon Jump?
I know
The
I've
episode
heard
where
of
Dudley
Gordon-
was like, he touched me?
Uh,
All right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know WKRP in Cincinnati.
So
I know those shows, but I've never seen either one of those episodes. I've never seen.
So
I don't
your
know.
answer's WKRP?
I have WKRP.
Okay. Coolest Clevelander of all time, Mike.
Oh, I'd have to say Goulardi.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Do you want me to expound on that?
Sure.
He just owned the town for a very brief period of time. Did some really cool stuff, innovative stuff, and he also left on top, and I thought that was really cool too. He didn't milk it and forever. He went and he called it a day. I respect that.
Are you going to go out that route yourself?
No, I'm not comparing. I'm not doing any comparisons. Stop delving.
Okay. I'm trying to interview.
I know it's not working.
Mike.
Coolest Clevelander? of
Yeah.
all time? Does he have to be like known as a Cleveland person?
Yeah. No, some guy from Pittsburgh.
Oh man. Coolest Clevelander of all time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking.
Although I will say, while he's thinking,
I don't
that
know.
Dave Horton from the band The Dr. Teeth is probably number 2. He's a friend of ours who's just like the coolest dude of all time.
Yeah.
And, like, he's one of those dudes who just like walks into the room and like every girl turns and looks.
And they get moist.
Splash. And yeah. So I'd say he's 2.
Okay.
Kosar.
Kozar? Okay, we'll go with that.
Because he's stuck around and he's here and I think he knows what he's talking about.
Reggie, coolest Clevelander of all time.
I'm gonna sit down.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's good.
sit down.
Yeah, that's good.
It's important.
Go ahead.
What's the question?
Coolest Clevelander of all time.
Coolest what?
Clevelander of all time.
Oh shit.
You're making these guys move these cameras for the first time in 7 episodes.
Off the top of my head, because you put it at me real fast, I'm gonna go with Bernie Kosar for the moment.
You just took Mike's answer there.
See, I understand that affection for him, but that's something I would never say he was. I would never say Bernie Kosar's cool.
Yeah.
He looks like a big clinger.
He's getting better.
No, it's good that he's.
Speaking better.
Yeah,
I like
he's-
that. I like that.
Yeah, well,
Bernie's speaking better. Apparently, he got some new doctor.
He's speaking better.
Yeah, he's got new medicine.
we're all glad he's not like brain damaged.
I like Bernie Kosar.
I love Bernie.
Big fan.
He's just not cool. Like nobody's ever like Bernie Kosar's so cool.
According to Farrell and Reggie here.
All right.
All right, we got one more for the tight 5. The 5th question. Most famous.
Tight 5's pretty loose.
Yeah. The most famous person you ever met.
I'm sorry, one more time.
The most famous person you've ever met.
I don't know. God, I don't know who's famous. I guess I met Kim Kardashian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty famous.
Oh, yeah,
And
you were on
I'm
a
just
TV
looking
show
at,
with
I'm
her.
not saying more worthwhile
Worthwhile.
person.
But
I'm
famous.
saying, but she's probably the most
in and of the
famous.
words famous.
Yeah.
You were on a TV show with her.
I was.
Did you
yeah.
talk to her afterwards?
No, beforehand. And I didn't know who she was when I met her because she wasn't really famous yet.
Okay.
And I just knew she was some incredibly hot dimwit. And
Yeah.
that's what she was. So, but that was probably the most famous person I ever met.
Mike Farrell.
I waited on Bono and The Edge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty
That
good.
is amazing. Where is this at?
At Old Metropolitan Cafe.
Were they sitting together across from one another?
Yeah, they sat at a little table.
Was listening to their like ordering and like table banter, did it hurt your soul in any way? Like were this
No.
No? They weren't like
They were very non-talkative. They just were hanging out, and that was it.
I love some jalapeno poppers. That's my Bono impression, by the way.
They
your
both got
Bono
like they both got like a
impression's grade
salad.
A, man. Honestly, you should.
And I didn't even really meet them. I just sort of, got a drink order.
That would have been pretty intimidating.
What do they drink? Like
Water.
peach water.
Yeah, just water.
Bunch of
like
nonsense.
Pellegrino waters.
I saw Bruce Springsteen at the Rock Bottom Brewery once. That was interesting. Drinking a beer.
Yeah?
That's the boss right there.
What, I don't get a question?
Yeah.
Did you
right.
just ask that question so you could say that you saw Bruce Springsteen at the...
Yeah, everything comes back to me somehow. I'm going to Kyrie Irving's birthday party later.
The famous guy question? I don't
Yeah.
ask it.
Oh, who's the most famous person you've ever met?
I would say
You've had time to think.
I smoked weed with Kid Rock twice. It was pretty cool.
I think
I like
most
Kid
people
Rock.
in this room have done
I like
that.
Kid Rock. Yeah, hey, that's good.
I do, actually.
And then other than that, Mike Polk.
Hear that? Second to smoking weed twice with Kid Rock. Can I use that in my bio?
I haven't smoked weed with you yet.
All right. Hey,
Bucket list.
the podcast is young.
Okay, we're going to wrap this thing up, Mike. You got any shows coming up?
No, I don't.
Nothing. Well, you got that one. We're going to be at Legends April 17th. Where are you at on Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter account.
It's Mike Folk Jr. on Twitter. What's your website?
I haven't built one yet.
MikeFolkJr.com. What's that book called?
Check it out. Coming out this fall. I don't know. What?
What's your book called? Just plug something.
It's called. All right. I have a book called "Damn Right I'm From Cleveland." Thanks for having me.
Where can you get it?
You can get it on. You can get it at bookstores around here.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Farrell?
Yeah.
Where you on Twitter?
At MJF Comedy.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
gigs coming up?
Yeah, we got a gig
Oh
coming
yeah,
up.
we're gonna be at
We got a big gig coming up.
See you Wednesday afternoon.
Vash, Lakewood.
We're gonna be at Vosh in Lakewood
April
on
10th.
April 10th. It's a
Be
brand
good-
new show. It's
good
starting
stuff.
at 9 o'clock. Get there at 8. It's gonna be awesome. You guys were awesome. One more time for Mike Farrell and Mike Polk, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
I want to say seriously, thank you for having me, and I'm glad that you're doing this, and I'm glad that you landed on your feet.
Thanks, buddy.
Sincerely.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. You
All
guys
right.
are awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Sit down. Sit down, Sonic. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, Sonic. Sit down. Get your shoes on. Sit down, Sonic.
I've got at least one pair of good shoes in the back of the closet somewhere.